What if Helldivers 2 and Palworld decided to have a roguelike baby? Well, you'd get Pax Autocratica, the game I'm showing you here. I'm surprised I heard nothing about this game and I saw there was a demo for it and I was like, might as well try the demo, and this might be my most anticipated game of the year. So the core gameplay loop of this game is base building. You go around, you build your base, you need barracks for infantry, you need a jail to put the dissonance in, you need a food place to cook, and you expand the base and build the base up and up and up. And in order to get people to build the base, you have to fly out into space and capture the unbelievers or the resistance or whatever you want to call them, the quote evil people. You capture them by force, put them in jail, and torment them until you break their will so that they see your point of view and then come and help you build your base. Here you can see I have 3 people currently in the cells and I have a few more to add to it. You can see you can do different things of interrogating them, you can shock them, you can propagandize them, and that's where like the Helldivers 2 comes in. You got the space themes, you've got we're the big evil tyrannical government, but we're actually the good guys and it's not brainwashing because we're bringing them over to the good side. Like it's got that very, very Starship Troopers, Helldivers 2 propaganda vibes for it. Like look at that image right there and tell me you wouldn't see that out of Helldivers 2. And I know a lot of roguelikes lately are taking like Slay the Spire, like, oh look, there's multiple paths, and that's kind of what you've got here in that there's multiple places for you to explore, but these seem to be set, so rather than like a random path every time, you have set paths where you can go to for different resources, you can find different things to mine, to gather, different people to try and gather to bring back for base building. And the interesting thing is every time you move on the map, it makes the world a little bit harder. So the farther you go, the more you explore, the more risk you take on, the harder enemies get, and then the harder your next match is. And that's really a cool mechanic, that you can go and get more stuff, but it increases your risk. I really like that. So what you're seeing on the screen now is the other half of the gameplay loop. This is where you're running around, taking down the people in the roguelike elements. You just saw I shot that person with a taser. That's how I'm capturing them to bring them back to my fortress to make them work for me. And you can see the Palworld mechanics kind of pop up. Let me slow that down for you. You can see here they're like a capture rate ring popped up. I've got a 50% chance. The more you hurt them, like Pokemon, the more chance you have. So obviously the more wounded, the more status effects on them, the higher chance you get. But if they're rarer, have better stats, or are just better for base building, they might be harder to capture. You'll fight some bosses and the bosses have a really, really low chance, but obviously if you get the bosses, they're way stronger. So high risk, high reward sort of deal. Now keep in mind I only played the demo and the demo was very limited in what you could do. So I only had a few weapons to play with and there were only a few different choices for like upgrading your character. Like all roguelites, you beat the level and you get some sort of power up and you're trying to chain together those power ups to have the most absurd, overpowered, broken character possible. So I only saw a taste of what that's going to be. But honestly, I liked what I saw. My biggest complaint in roguelike shooters like this is that a lot of times the power-ups can feel very, very underwhelming. I just reviewed one not too long ago where the power-ups were things like, oh hey, you get an extra 2% damage on criticals, or you move 5% faster, which they are strong and they are useful, but it doesn't feel impactful. Instead here you're getting a bunch of stuff like you get rockets attached to your arms that fire out and increase your DPS by 20 or 30%, or the build that I'm going for here is taser balls, where when you shoot an enemy, a taser will launch out of them and connect to the person next to them, dealing electrical damage. There's also buffs like does 5% more damage per shot up to 25 damage in a certain period of time. So there are some of those like little modifier damage things, but they're big enough you feel them. So I appreciate that. But the build variety looks like it's going to be very vast and you're going to have a lot of options to build a very, very strong character. And the first couple missions I do feel very, very strong. I was never really in any danger here, but by the end of this run, there's a time where I almost die because it gets so out of control so fast with how fast they power up. And I like that. I like that spike in difficulty. Now you'll see there's a bunch of people with me, and that's this kind of particular mission where there's like a bunch of people on the planet, but another core aspect of the game is capturing people who will go out on missions with you. So you're going to build your own like army who are going to NPC bots who will help you to get stronger and take over planets. So that is also a factor where like the Palworld-esqueness comes in, where you're capturing very specific people to complete specific tasks at home, but you're also bringing them into battle with you to help you complete different challenges and objectives. I honestly didn't get too far into that. Again, the demo is limited, and as it should be. There's plenty more stuff to come. I'm sure there's a lot of weapons, a lot of different people to get, but I just didn't get that far because the demo, again, has a limit to it. Honestly, what surprised me the most was this part here when I was doing some research for the video. This is a small, I guess you'd call them indie studio. They haven't released a whole lot of games before this. Here's the blurb from their website, and this game felt incredibly polished. Like throughout the entire demo, I never once ran into a crash, a glitch. There was widescreen support from what I remember playing. There was all sorts of different options for increasing, decreasing graphics and adjusting your gameplay. Like, it was very, very smooth and very, very polished, especially if it is a smaller company that hasn't worked on a lot of games before. I really, really like that. And I know that I'm saying I like a lot of things, but now that I'm thinking about it, like, I was trying to figure out, okay, let me think of some negatives. Like, what were some things that I didn't like about the game? Because, you know, we need to be fair and balanced. We need to talk about all the good things, but also talk about the things that can be improved. But honestly, it's solid all the way through. Like, I'm struggling to think of things that I didn't enjoy about the demo. When I put the demo down, I just wanted to come back and play some more. Like, very rarely recently has there been a game that has grabbed my attention so much that I played it, put it down, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to log back in and keep playing. Like, the last time I felt like that was Helldivers 2. And I know that I brought up this as Helldivers with Palworld, and the Helldivers is in like the aesthetic part of it. Like, you're not going to be dropping with other people and liberating planets. Like, it doesn't have that persistent campaign. Like, there's not a whole lot of Helldivers 2 in here except for the aesthetics. Like, you got the armor that's reminiscent, you got the propaganda that's reminiscent of it. So if you only want Helldivers 2, you're probably not going to get that out of this game, but it is still worth a play. Okay, I just thought of something I can nitpick, and this is one of those things that, like, I can't really call it a bad thing. It just kind of depends on who you are and what you enjoy. But when you get later into the game, some of the boss fights, their mechanics are very, very reminiscent of like the bullet hell genre, where there'll just be tons and tons of bullets flying around the screen. You've got to dodge them. Like, you can actively dodge things. That's the whole point of the game, is you're actively dodging to stay alive, to manage your health, to be able to get farther. But if you don't enjoy bullet hell games, that could be a setback for you. I personally don't like bullet hell games. I don't enjoy that genre at all. But these bosses, you have different things like your burst ability to move faster, you have sprinting, you have a lot of different options to be able to avoid it, so it's not quite as bad as the genre tends to be. But again, if you just absolutely, I hate it, I don't want to play it, I don't want to enjoy it, those bosses could be a little frustrating for you. Another thing I guess I could nitpick is this screen here. When you fly in and go collect different things, you can see here, like, here's resource cache. Okay, I'm going to go collect the resources. You fly to it, you collect it, and it just brings up a little gathering mini game where you just have to press A at the right time. I know there's some people who don't like quick time events. I know there's people who want more mini games, other things there. Again, this is very nitpicky. Like, I don't mind it. I do wish it was a little bit more like, hey, this is more like a mini game or something more to do. But I also understand how if you're playing this for an hour or two at a time, you're going deeper into the expedition, those mini games could really get annoying. So it's, again, this is a very minor thing that I'm nitpicking. Okay, I'm going to scroll ahead in the video, so rather than keep showing you fights, you can see this is what happens when you end the campaign. So we went out, we did our fighting. You can see I collected all these things. I got people, I got resources, I got food, I got blueprints, and now it's time to go back to the other half of the game. So obviously I'm going to use a lot of those resources to upgrade my base. So I'm going to build new barracks for more people. I'm going to build more food places for them. I'm going to go over here and recruit some of the people that come automatically. It seems like every time you go on a mission, when you come back, there'll be some new recruits for you, and those recruits help to expand your base because now you have more people to gather resources and cook for you and do all of that sort of thing. Here's one of the tech trees. There are multiple tech trees, and as you can see, they're very, very large. There's a ton of policies, there's a ton of technology, so most of it's not available, again, because this is a demo, but there's obviously going to be a long process to get to the end game, and you're going to feel way more powerful and way different at the end of the game as you did at the start of the game, because you're building a massive base. Obviously, this is a very tiny starter base. It's going to get much larger. Here's the food, and like most base building games, there's an aspect of like management. So if you really like crunching numbers, this game will give you that crunchiness to it, where you're managing morale, you're managing different food levels. Different foods give different buffs and different levels of different things. You have to manage your workforce. You can go in here and look at like their different stats and skills and how they're feeling. You can find like their morale, if they're sick. They actually talk to each other and build their own relationships, and they auto assign themselves to different areas well. So you've got a ton of depth There's also an auto-assign system where it looks like potentially a lot of this can be managed automatically, so it's really one of those things where like if you want to optimize and dig deep into it, you can, but there's also an auto system that kind of handles it for you if you just want to focus on like the roguelike menu. Obviously, again, I've said this like 6 times, it's a demo, so I don't know for certain, but I imagine by the end game, you're going to have to get into the base building and the crunchiness of it to optimize for the end game, but at least at the start, it's not too bad. There's also a difficulty slider, so if you just want to do the roguelike and you don't want to do any of the base building, I'm guessing you can probably turn that difficulty slider all the way down and get through it. Here I'm researching with my pals, so you can help out if you want to, but it's one of those things where it's like they do all their things automatically, and if you help, it just goes a little bit faster. So, you know, being a good leader, I'm leading from the front and I'm jumping out here and helping them, but they'll do it all themselves. Here's that crunchiness I was talking to. You can see under experience, you can see like all the different people he's chatted with, all the relationships he's formed. You can see his loyalty level, his morale levels, his fear, stamina, fullness. Like there's a ton of different boxes in here to learn and dig into. You can see his combat skills, so you can see which characters you want to bring with you and upgrade and outfit. So I really appreciate that depth to it, and I know there's a lot of other people out there who will appreciate that depth as well. So that's the demo. It's still up, so if you're watching this video, you should have a chance to play it. I don't know if they're going to take the demo down. The game launches in a day or two. I believe August 10th is when the game is coming out. Now, it has been in development for a while, and that has been pushed back a few times. I know it was supposed to launch in May, so there's a chance that it might get pushed back again. And I don't know if the demo's going away or not, so hopefully they'll leave the demo up, so even if the game is for sale, you can get the demo and try it out if you want to. I highly recommend this. As I said, it's very quickly becoming my most anticipated game of the year. I super enjoyed it. I can't wait to dig back into it, so it's been a great demo. Go and give it a try. Support a small dev. This is just solid all the way through. I think you'll like it. So, as always, thank you for watching and have a blessed day.